very different story about the size of the industry that we as fans never saw. We just see the music and the videos. And I do wonder then, when you have an inkling of, okay, these are contracts, and you maybe get an independent lawyer who says, this is what you're going to get and stuff like that. In some cases, do you then think, this is our foot in the door, even though that they may own our names and own everything that we put out, but it's our chance? Or do you think, oh man, you know, it's just too high of a price, we just go our separate ways and just tour?
The first answer.
Right. I think, yeah, I answered that the first time. So,
yeah.
So it's either, you know, you sign this contract, which says right here, you know, you ain't doing shit. And basically that's what it says. Turn your keys over, give the keys to Babyface, and let him drive this, you know, let him drive the shit. And that's what we did. And a good thing, because, you know, he did such a tremendous job with Last Night. I mean, a lot of people don't know, but, you know, most of those songs are his on that album, you know, Save for Someone Else. And, you know, but Brian McKnight did write Arrow Through My Heart. You know, we got a great one from Brian McKnight. And we worked with Mervyn Warren from Take Six. You know,
okay.
We did get a chance to do all of that stuff. So pretty much, basically, it's either that. But you know, thank God that the industry ain't the same today.
Yeah. Now we'll get to that. We'll get to today. And I do wonder then. So back in those days, then, when I mean, look, people are begging Babyface to write them songs, so that's not even an option and stuff like that. So he said, I'm doing everything. Do you then get somebody who explains that, look, you pretty much as a group are not going to get much money from selling albums, even if you sell 100 million, but you're probably going to do most of it on tour? Or what did you ever think, if we sold 1 million, that we're going to be rich?
The mindset to all artists that come in, because see, R&B artists are not like rock artists and not like other artists. You know, I don't know who you can contribute that to. I would say probably Sam Cooke, maybe. I don't know. But, you know, there's a system to R&B. You know, there's producers and writers and, you know, the whole thing to put together. Like, you know, with rockers, you know, there's a drummer, there's a guitarist, you know, they're going to do all that themselves. Yeah. So, you know, for us, it was just, it says it right here. And for most of the artists that's going through what we went through, it's always get that first album out of the way. Get that first, second album. What's the obligations to the contract? After the second album, then, you know, then it's negotiable, X, Y, and Z. Get that first and second album out of the way. And then after that, if you're lucky enough to maintain longevity, then it's all yours after that. But for us at the time, that music that we were doing, we were kind of at the tail edge end of our time, of that era. So the only R&B / pop that possibly that came after us, you know, we did have the NSYNCs and all of that, but you know, that's a totally different. Yeah. We're talking about like B2K, the last of the last. So yeah, I mean, it was a dying breed at the time, but you know, we milked it for all that we could. Yeah. At the end of that.
But for that era, the main thing that needed to happen, that didn't happen for most artists, it kind of happened for us, is lawyering up. You got management, but you got to have lawyers. You got to have attorneys to make sure that your paperwork is straight. Then you have to have another lawyer to make sure that their paperwork is straight. So, you know, I mean,
there's so many stories of lost money back in those days. But the music industry has changed. You know, went through a whole strip down, and it is where it is today.
Yeah, no, I actually, somebody did tell me that even getting the lawyer is more loyal to the record company than to you guys. It's because it's like if they try and fight for you guys, they may not be able to fight for the other clients.
It goes down to depends who you pick as a lawyer. If you pick a lawyer that's worked for that label, they're going to work for the label, not you.
Right.
Yeah.
Eventually,
Yeah.
We've had all we lived through the conflict. We lived for the conflict of interest. Our motto was contracts are made to be broken. So, you know, everything that basically that we did, we broke a contract to get to the next point. A contract shouldn't hold you. And that's just how we felt about it. We didn't give a boop about a contract.
Yeah.
You know, you do have to be careful because, you know, we knew that we had something worth having. So that's the only reason why we bust through those contracts like that. Until we bust through it, until we had no more contracts. And by the time we had no more contracts, the industry was laid down.
Yeah. So, you know, and you know, what's disappointing is that, you know, we're talking about the real reality of the industry, the business side, and it takes away the things that we as fans focused on was the music. But for you guys, it's hard to enjoy the music side when you actually think, well, this actually is supposed to pay my bills and stuff. And, you know, people are taking and robbing, and not, I won't say Babyface robbing, but the industry's not for R&B at the time, and it wasn't set up to support and give you guys that sort of foothold. So, you know, having to get all these lawyers, managers, and having to, you know, think about the accounting, see where the money's going. I mean, I couldn't begin to imagine how hard that is when you're supposed to focus on the craft and the creativity.
Yeah,
and you have to start watching everybody.
Right.
The focus could definitely be off if you're really trying to focus on being creative, and your creativity is being blocked by, man, I think he stole 10 grand from me over there. You know, you can't even focus.
And that's what all the representation thrived on. They thrived on us keeping our focus in one direction so they can take that money and do what they wanted to do with it.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is that, you know, when the contract says that money ain't really yours, that's what you're dealing with. You know, you know, go out and get your name and stay strong. Keep the brand going strong and do whatever you got to do. So that's what we did. That's what we did. Because at the end of the day, when you have, you know, when you got A&Rs and you got, you know, artwork and you got lawyers and you got management and you got accountant and you got stylists and choreographers and videographers and every, you know, just there's the money right there.
Yeah.
So
on your first album then, so the actual creative side of it, does it Babyface that comes and says, okay, here's my songs I'm doing, you guys are sing, or could you guys say, oh, you know, we've been working on these songs, you know, for the last 4 years, can we sing this? How did that work for the first album?
It worked like this.
Sing it or go home.
Hey, you guys need to be in the studio at 6 o'clock. All right, see you there. Clint, get to the studio at 6 o'clock. Here's the song we're doing. Oh, that's beautiful. You like that? Yes.
Yes.
The silver lining to that process for that first album was Hard to Say I'm Sorry, which was the acapella that we're known
arranged
for.
by us.
Arranged by us. And, you know, put on the album, and it sold double platinum.
On its own. And it sold platinum on the album. So,
and plus we were already self-contained when we first got when we first met Kenny. When we first met him, we knew what we were doing, and he knew that. Didn't matter, but
to our fans and everyone, we love what Babyface did for us. I mean, like we still go around the world singing these amazing songs that we got from just the one album that we did with him. So, you know, you know, about 6 to 8 Babyface songs. Yeah.
I mean, as I said, you know, between him and Stevie and Smokey, I mean, there's, you know, Jimmy and Terry, they dominated, you know, the last 50, 60 years of music. So,
and the beauty is still have his name to use whenever we want.
And whenever we see him from time to time, we may do a performance with him. you know,
Yeah.
or, you know, end up at his studio working or something like that. But, you know, we're still good friends. Everything is, you know, everything is on the up.
Yeah. And so you're signing to directly with LaFace, or do you sign through Yum Yum to LaFace? So do you sign?
No, we were going to be signed to Yab Yum, which is which was Tracy's label at the time.
With John B.
Tracy Edmonds, yeah. Used to be Edmonds.
Yeah.
It was her label, but we didn't end up signing with Yab Yum. We ended up signing with LaFace ARIA, which ARIA was our parent company. And Clive Davis. Peace, Clive.
Clive, yeah. So you went directly to LaFace.
Yes.
So when you're in the studio and your Babyface is, what's it like being in the studio with Kenny? Because I guess, you know, as I said, we know him as this amazing songwriter, and it almost feels like he just wakes up and he has a song in his hand. Is he a taskmaster in the studio, or what's it like in a recording process with him?
Oh, it was surreal, because I mean, it's one thing to be in awe of somebody because of their history and what they achieved, but it's another thing to actually be in that moment and be respected on the same level. He never treated us like we were beneath him. He treated us like every other artist he's ever worked with, from Aretha Franklin down to Tony Braxton to John B. I mean,
you know, the one time they asked him it was in the late '90s. They had asked him if you had a dream team, what would that dream team consist of? He said it would be himself, Wanya Morris, Sean Stockman, Mark Nelson, and Kenny Terry. That was his dream team in the '90s.
And then we actually did that way.
That shocked us, because, you know, here's the great Babyface, but he was definitely in awe with what we did, and I think, you know, he learned some things from us as we did from him as well.
Yeah. And so he brings the songs. When you see the songs, do you think, yep, these are hits, or do you think, okay, not bad? Or what are your thoughts when the songs are presented? No, well, I mean, you're told this is what you're going to sing, but what did you think? Yeah, this one looks like it's going to be a hit.
We knew they were hits before we even heard them.
Oh yeah.
When we got to his house. When we got to his house, you know, it was surreal. You know, we got to his house, we sat down. He had a studio on one side of his house, and then there was a hallway, and then the room aside to the studio where he was going to play the music for us. So, you know, he was like, I'm gonna play you guys a few songs, and you tell me if you like them or not. He's like, we like them.
Before he started.
So that's pretty much how that went, and everything else was cake and ice cream.
So your big hits last night. So when he plays it, do you immediately think, "Wow, this is it," or what were your thoughts?
Yeah, because first, of course, the way he would present a demo, because it was a demo at the time. He already knew that we had the background taken care of.
So he sang the lead to us.
Yeah, and then he had a lead track of his voice on the song, and he wasn't even trying to sing it. Like, he wasn't singing it like himself. He was just like singing it softly throughout the track.
Right.
But he was depending on us to know how to bring it all out.
And we knew just how to bring it on.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
The process, the way it went, is we went and we laid down all of the vocals to the backgrounds first, and he hadn't even finished writing the leads to the song yet.
Right.
Oh.
He had just wrote the chorus to the song, and so we kind of slept on that. We laid that down, and then we just kind of let that go for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
because I don't think we finished it. That was like the first thing we did.
But the first thing we did, but it ended up being one of the last things we did.
Yeah,
because you know, we were experimenting with so much. We were working with Brian McKnight. We were working with Mervyn Warren. We worked with Diane Warren.
Ooh, the great Diane Warren.
You know, we were working with a lot of people, and we were just trying to find our niche. And pretty much everything we did, he liked and everybody liked, but it was pretty much his call. So we just, you know, good faith, let him take care of it, and it worked out perfect.
We did appreciate too how he worked with us when it came to the fantasy list of people that we wanted to work with. Like Mervyn Warren was definitely one of the people, because you know, he's one of the guys from Take Six.
Yeah.
He's like the master arranger when it comes to harmony and stuff.
Okay.
We need him to do the harmony, but
we wanted to. But when they asked us who we wanted to work with,
right.
Take Six was one of the first on the list. That's what they delivered to us.
That was the top of the line for that time. So yeah.
So we worked together on that.
Okay. Okay. Did LA get involved? I mean, he was running the label, but does he just say what's going on? Does he help out with any production at those days?
He didn't get involved in any production at all. He was more behind the scenes on marketing us and getting us where we needed to be. You know, he was more of the Godfather. You know, we'd go over to his house, big ass tent, and a strip the size of your hand. And you know, we would get over there and just have fun and kick it. He would ask us, you know, how we wanted to be marketed, how would we like to be seen. He was more of the director of the vision.
Yeah.
And he pretty much laid it out for us.
Yeah, and before the album, you know, you're recording and you're getting the songs together, do you then interface with Tony and Usher and TLC and Outkast and
in the Bahamas?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we went to the Bahamas. LaFace did a retreat. It was us, Tony Braxton.
The Braxtons.
I mean, I'm sorry, the Braxtons.
The Braxtons.
Tony was on that second album at the time.
Goody Mob, Outkast, you know. So we went over to the Bahamas and we all, you know, kind of meshed, and this was the LaFace family in the late 90s.
Yeah.
And yeah, we ran into Tony a few times. You know, she's real cool. She's real cool. TLC, yeah. We ran into them a bunch. And of course, you know, Outkast and Goody Mob. We used to see CeeLo all the time.
Oh yeah. What's up, man?
yeah.
The LaFace family it was good to be a part of it in the late 90s.
Yeah, I mean, as I said,
like royalty. It was like, I would say, probably what Motown was in those days, because yeah, it was a tight show.
Yeah, I put out a poll this evening. I said which label did people think gave them the best hits in the 90s, and it was between Uptown, LaFace, Bad Boy, and So So Def. And lots of people says they couldn't pick because all the labels had, you know, Uptown had Mary Jodeci, Heavy D, and Guy and stuff, and you know, LaFace had, you know, Tonys and TLCs and Usher and yourselves, and you know, Bad Boy had Total and Biggie. So it was almost like a sense of appreciation of when R&B labels were at its peak with all the richness and stuff. So it's, you know, here you guys are, you finished the making the album. Where are you guys living? So you're Philadelphia. Are you in LA or are you in Atlanta while the recording is going ahead?
You know, that was a hard choice because LA wanted us in Atlanta because most of the acts on LaFace were in Atlanta, and if you were in Atlanta, then you were really being groomed by the machine. But Kenny Babyface really wanted us in LA.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to make sure that he put his hands on this project the right way. And when they asked us, our choice was LA for sure, because we wanted to be with Babyface. You know, we wanted to be there. I mean, that was our dream for years, even before we met him.
But we wanted to always be in his face too.
Yeah,
so
we wanted to be under his wing.
About.
Right. We wanted to be under his wing the way he wanted us under his wing. So it was LA for sure.
Which was really hard because he had so much going on at the time.
Yeah, LA had so much
going on. He had Tony Braxton project. He had the Waiting to Excel.
Oh yeah, that was a big one.
He had us. He had who else?
Yeah,
John B. He had us. He had everybody. So we did good to stick in there and stay. Right. And get anything done.